Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rahaha Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone. Blessings and salutations to the hopefully elect. Brother Isaiah with the Pittsburgh GMS camp, coming at you with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rahaha Kodash. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. I'm going to start off with 2 Timothy 3 and verse 1. It says, "This know also, that in the last days perilous times shall come." Okay, so perilous times are going to come. All right, let's get that word perilous. All right, I'll start off with this one, and I have a story, and then, just pull out the other scriptures through the spirit as we go along. We'll try to start bringing them out, all of them. Let's see. 2 Timothy 3, 1. Okay, get that word perilous. Play it. All right. So Salakia, that's not playing. Let me let's do that again. See if it plays.
Strong's G 5467. Chalipas. Chalipas.
Chalipas, okay? Which says hard to do, to take, or to approach, hard to bear, troublesome, dangerous, harsh, fierce, and savage. Okay. yeah, I could describe that like that. What was happening earlier, I'll get to the story here in a second. Okay. Oh, fierce. Fierce is one of the words for it. Matthew 8:28. Okay. There were speaking of the two men that were possessed with devils, it says that they came out exceedingly fierce. All right, so that no man may pass by that way. Right, so these times are going to be fierce. Okay, there's going to be a lot of anger, a lot of hatred, a lot of things going on. All right, and Lord willing, we can get some precepts on that. Just go through the spirit. Let's continue. 2 Timothy 3 and 1. They'll notice also that in the last days, perilous times shall come, fierce, hard to deal with, dangerous times are going to come. And why? Well, it's going to be because of the spirit that's going to be on the people out here. Okay, it says, "For men shall be lovers of their own selves." All right, let's get a precept. Try to take it a little slower so I don't I didn't really have very many precepts in mind on what to put with this, but as we go along, some of them come out. I'll try to get them all. Sometimes I'll have to say it before I forget it. 2 Corinthians 15 and let's start at 14. It says, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power." So there's going to come a time, okay, right now you have people's spirits being riled up. A lot of people took the taco sauce, the ketchup packet, whatever you want to call it, the the Bloody Mary. A lot of people dance with Crown Vic Royale, okay, and they took the special sauce, and you know, it's got their minds changed, man. I've just noticed a change in people. A lot of things change people. They was cooped up for so long, now they finally get to be free. And people just going buck wild out here, man. Nobody has any patience anymore. Even worse than it used to be. Like I'm noticing, you know, on the roads, man, you really see it. I'll be driving in a 40 mile per hour zone, and to keep up with the flow of traffic, sometimes you have to drive about 20 miles above that. And even doing that to try to keep up with the flow of traffic, you'll still have somebody that wants to go 20 miles faster than that, that's behind you, or you may have to switch lanes and let them pass. And then, like I did an experiment earlier today, or a few hours ago, I was working, and I let this guy pass, and I was like, let me try to catch up to him to see how fast he's going. And I went up. It was a 40 mile per hour zone. And I'm like, all right, this dude's speeding hella fast. So I tried to catch up with him. I got up to like 65, almost 70, and he was still like ahead of me. Like I wasn't catching him. I'm like, so that means he's got to be going like 75, 80. You know what I'm saying? In a 40, and I'm just looking like, damn, like, and that's the story a lot. So anyway, people are uh people are not really regarding the laws of the road. People for whatever reason they're disregarding it, man. But we know these times are gonna come, and that's just a small example of what's gonna come. As you see here in 2 Corinthians 15 and 15, it says, "For the sword and destruction draweth nigh, one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands." So there's gonna be even worse than that. Okay, it's gonna be even worse than that. Okay, and we'll continue. Okay, shoot, troops are gonna be on the swords of America. At some point, things are gonna change, man. Verse 16, for there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. They're gonna be lovers of themselves, okay? They're gonna do what they want to do. They're not gonna care what nobody else got to say about it. The course of their actions shall stand in their power. They're gonna rule over their own selves. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, and the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Right? I think it goes on to say, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. So there's a lot of perilous times coming, and sometimes you get a glimpse of, you know, these people are gonna lose their shit. Okay, let me get this precept. This is gonna tie into the story I want to go into. All right. Oh yeah. Yeah. We'll start here. We'll start there. So I'm gonna go into my story here in any minute. Let me look at this again. Right. So 2 Timothy 3:2. Men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy. Okay, without natural affection, truth breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those which I really should have left one of these open. Yeah, I want to go back to 2 Timothy. All right. Constant fears despised of those that are good. So there's a lot in here. So I'm gonna go to the story real quick. So I was doing a delivery and there was a long line. It was at a McDonald's and I was waiting on the which ain't the best, but sometimes at night you just gotta take, if it's a decent pay. Sometimes you gotta just wait for it, you know what I mean? But it'd be better order sometimes, depends on how busy it is. So I decided to take the order. So I was waiting on it and you could hear in the line somebody got impatient, all right? Somebody got impatient and they got out of their car. You could hear them cussing all the way back to the where I was in line. They was talking about give me my money back, run me my money, da da da, give me my money back. But you could just hear how they was yelling, how frustrated they was over they horse meat burger, all right, or whatever that damn beef is, the fake beef. They was pissed off about their food not coming on time. I guess they had ordered something that was taking a while to cook, and other people was passing them by, and they got pissed. They want their money back. But what kind of got me was, you could hear all this commotion, and then you hear the person. I guess it was a guy, sound like a guy. He said, good play on me, run me my money back. People could die out here." And I just thought to myself, like, damn, this nigga's threatening to kill people over his McDonald's. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, wow, and it just that's so when I was thinking of a lesson to do, I couldn't help but to keep thinking about that situation where I was just like, wow, these people are losing their shit. And this is the precept that came to mind, which is the basis for the lesson. All right. And one of the words that came into my mind was, like I said, people don't have much patience. When you go into this word incontinent, okay, let's get it.
Strong's G 193. Akrates. Akrates.
Akrates, right? It says without self-control, intemperate, okay? Without self-control, incontinent, okay? So when it says, I mean, that's pretty much it. That's what it is, you know. And the scriptures talk about that incontinency in the Apocrypha as well. It says incontinency is at an end. Let's get that. Continency or is it temperance? I'm gonna just type it in. Which they mean the same thing. They mean the same thing. I just second Ezra 7, okay, and 44 says intemperance is at an end, infidelity is cut off, righteousness is grown, and truth is sprung up. So there will be a time, okay. This is talking about the end times right here, okay. You know, second Ezra's just got through asking, like, you know, why can't, you know, the righteous pray for the weak as they did in the past, you know, because some people, you know, still haven't. Now, this is a various topics lesson, okay, but some people have not gotten into the understanding that the 2/3 must be destroyed. You know, you have these people that say, why ain't nobody out here for our peoples? You know, you got that fuel injected demon, you know, that nigga woman, okay, who was out there in front of the, I believe, Baltimore camp, you know, threatening to tase brothers and you know, going through all these rigmarole of feed him, pray for him, put $1 in his pocket, do this and do that, you know, which ain't nothing wrong with that. But at the end of the day, you know, Yahweh Shem Shai have called us to preach, okay, to these people, okay, and if these people do not repent, then there's nothing no one's gonna be able to do to save these people, okay, nothing nobody's gonna be able to do and save these people. All right, so let's get to second Ezra 7:41. Okay, and now it gives you different examples. As I summarized, Ezra's just got through asking. And you can read this chapter, second Ezra chapter 7. Ezra's asked the Most High, well, look, you know, because he's going through this whole aspect of, well, look, Lord, if you got these different rules set up for who's gonna make it and who ain't gonna make it, well, he's like, we all through, because we done all sinned and we done all did this and that, and you know, he's like, dang, Lord, your people, how could we make it? Because nobody's righteous. He's like, well, wait, you know, ain't can't somebody just pray for these people? You know, can't somebody pray for the weak and for the sinners and have them be saved like it happened in the past? And the Lord's like, look, yeah, he did those things. You know, these different men prayed for these different people in the past. That's true. But let's continue from there, okay? Right. Verse 41. Even so now, seeing corruption has grown up and wickedness increased, and the righteous have prayed for the ungodly, wherefore shall it not be so now also? Right? Going back into it. He's like, why can't they do that now? Yahweh Shai, which Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, it's a messenger, which I believe it was an angel. Yeah. Angel responded to him saying, he answered me and said, this present life is not the end where much glory doth abide. Therefore have they therefore have they prayed for the weak. But the day of doom shall be the end of this time, the end of this age of wickedness, and the beginning of the immortality for to come, right? The kingdom of heaven being played out on the planet Earth, okay? Wherein corruption is past. So, you know, we're not going to be allowed to, there's not going to be allowed to exist corruption in the nation of Israel, okay, in the world to come, and in the kingdom of Israel, all Israelites are going to be righteous, all right? The scriptures go into that, okay? I'll get a precept on it real quick instead of quoting it, all right? Salaki, just like this incense a little more because it went out. Damn. All right, let's get this precept. Says Hebrews 8. I'll probably start at verse 10 if it'll open. It's not want to lag on me. All right, Hebrews 8. And 10 says, "For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days." See, this is for Israel only, saith the Lord. "I will put my laws into their mind and write them in their hearts. And I will be to them a power, and they shall be to me a people." So the Most High is going to program us to do righteousness when we're in the kingdom of heaven. This is the fulfillment of the second covenant. A lot of people say, well, we're in the second covenant. No, we're not in the second covenant. We're not in the fulfilling of the second covenant. The second covenant is the better promises that we have to come, but they have not come yet. And in order to receive of those promises, okay, on the first go around and to not be a part, in order to receive those promises, you have to do certain things, okay? Uh, get it? Sometimes I be knowing a lot of precepts, but I be having to like when I can't type it in, I don't be able to find it, uh, because I don't know the numbers off rip all the time. Daniel 12 and let's see, all right, 2. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince was standing for the children of thy people in this end times when the destruction comes, and there shall be a time of trouble such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. Yeah, talking about the elect, right? And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt. So you're going to have two aspects. Yeah, all of Israel shall be saved with an everlasting salvation. Tells you that in the book of Romans, right? Let's get that. Let's go back to the point. The Romans 11 and 26. And so all Israel shall be saved, as it is written, there shall come out of Zion the deliverer, turn away ungodliness. Okay, from Jacob, which is another one too. Isaiah 45 and 17. But Israel shall be saved in Yahweh with an everlasting salvation. He shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end. All right, so all of Israel will be saved. But Daniel breaks it down of how it's going to happen. What's going to happen? Verse 2 says, "And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, some to shame and everlasting contempt." So there will be those, okay, of the Israelites who will awaken. All right, those who get caught up first with Yahweh Shai, who are martyred for the truth, or who are already dead in dead in Christ. Let's get it. Dead in type. I'm just type in verbatim. 1 Thessalonians 4:16 says, "For the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of the Most High. And the dead in Christ shall arise first." So those men that's in the truth that died already, they're gonna be the first to get their white robes. Okay, they're gonna be the first to get them white robes, man. Okay, all right. So let's go back into it. All right. So some are gonna awake. The ones who died in this truth, all right, are gonna awake to everlasting life, and the ones who died wickedly are gonna awake to a period of contempt. They're gonna awake to a period of having their head hanging low. Daniel 12 and 2, because they didn't adhere to the words and the things that Yahweh Shem Yahushua wanted them to do. Okay, they're gonna have a different uh that word contempt, right? Aversion or abhorrence. Okay, abhorring, contempt, shame to eternal contempt. Okay, that which is abhorred. All right, so you know they're gonna feel bad about the fact that they didn't do what they were supposed to do, and that word everlasting should be olam. I walam. I walam means a long duration. Okay, a long duration, a long time, and in some cases it means forever. But we know that they're not going to be sad for forever. It tells you that there's not going to be any more tears. So for a period of time, the Lord's going to allow them to be, remorseful for what they did, but they'll be fine after a while. Now let's continue. Verse 3, it says, "And they that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament, and they that turn many to righteousness as the stars forever and ever." Okay, so there's going to be a reward for doing righteousness, all right? So, you know, let's go back into it. Like I said, all of Israel shall be saved, but, okay, they that didn't do what they were supposed to do are going to be the precept. Sometimes I be having so many precepts, man. Got far away from the point. Lord willing, I can, pull it back in. Second Edges 9 and 12 says the same as, matter of fact, Second Edges 9, Salaki. Second Edges 9 and 7 says, "And everyone that shall be saved shall be able to escape by his works and by faith, whereby ye have believed." Okay, so it's works and faith. "Shall be preserved from the said perils, and shall see my salvation in my land and within my borders. For I have sanctified them for me from the beginning." Okay, the elect were chosen from the beginning. "Then shall they be in pitiful case, which now have abused my ways. And they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torments. For such as in their life have received benefits and have not known me. They that have loathed my law, while they had yet liberty, and when as yet place of repentance was open unto them, understood not but despised it, the same must know it after death by pain." You see? So they're gonna have to die in order to realize their error. The Lord's gonna have to allow their fears to come upon them. He's gonna have to allow them to realize in a horrible manner that, oh, I was horribly wrong for the way that I lived my life. But by that time, it's going to be too late. Okay? By that time, it's going to be too late. So, as it says here in Hebrews 8 and 11. All right. It says, "And they shall not teach every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, Know the Lord, for all shall know me from the least to the greatest." All the Israelites are going to know the Most High. We won't have to teach no more. All right? See? See? Second Ezra 7:43 says, "But the day of doom shall be the end of this time, of this age of wickedness, and the beginning of the immortality for to come, wherein corruption is past, intemperance is at an end, infidelity is cut off, righteousness is grown, and truth is sprung up. Then shall no man be able to save him that is destroyed, nor to oppress him that have gotten the victory." We just read through that, through some different precepts that back that up. All right. The same must know it after death by pain. If they don't make the right decision now, and they're not gonna be able to be saved. They're gonna be destroyed. All right, and Ezra goes through some different things with the Most High. So let's read 2 Ezra 16 and 17. It says, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days?" All right, "The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils, what shall I do when these evils shall come?" Right, so these things are actually coming upon us now. These wars and these famines. "Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges." All right. So Jake ain't worried about what's going on. All right. Verse 21. Okay, it says, "Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case. Even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sore famine and great confusion." So these motherfuckers thinking that they got they got time to be sitting up out here. All right, let me make sure these headphones still plugged in, because of course, all right. These niggas think they in such a good case that they can hop out their car, all right, and cuss people out about some fucking McDonald's or whatever. All right, you think you in a good case, but meanwhile, evils is growing upon the earth, man. Uh, Sword, famine, and great confusion. All right, you see what's going on over there in the Ukraine, man. "For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy." So you ain't gonna get away from it. "And the dead shall be cast out as dung, no love. and there shall be no man to comfort them, for the earth shall be wasted, and the city shall be cast down. But these are the things that's coming upon the planet Earth, man. Looking at this 15, let's see if I got some more. Yeah. Verse 19 says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods, because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. So these things are coming, man. You know, you think a nigga's getting mad now because he ain't get his chicken nuggets in time. You know what I'm saying? Wait till ain't no motherfucking chicken nuggets, and he see you got something. Oh yeah, they gonna be on it. All right. So this is that word, intemperate. All right. So you know, there's a lot of stuff in here. Fierce. Let's get that word fierce in 2 Timothy 3 and 3. That word fierce.
Strong's G 434. Anemeros. Anemeros.
Anemeros, not tame, savage, fierce. Okay, if scripture comes to mind, reading that. 2 Peter 2 and 12 says, but these as natural brute beasts made to be taken and destroyed, speak evil of the things that they understand not, and shall utterly perish in their own corruption. All right. You know, so there's these people, there's these men that fit these categories, all right, that they're gonna be out here killing, you know, trying to kill folks, man. Kill the righteous. It says they're despisers of those that are good, traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures, more than the lovers of the most high. Okay. So these are the type of people that you can expect to see in these end times, you know, and as 2 Timothy 3 and 1 says, once again I read it. This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. So, you know, we know these things will come, but we also know that there's going to be a hedge of protection around the elect. We don't have to worry about these things. I mean, you know, I really see I waited on my order. I made it here home safe. Nobody, you know, got shot or whatever the case might be. You know, but we know the times are coming where those type of things can escalate into something more than, you know, than it did at that time. And just something to think about and prepare ourselves for. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and end it there. I want to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh, Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rakaha Kodash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. These blessings and salutations to the whole fleet elect. Then I want to say Shalom, Baba Shalom.